There's a family down the street, the homeless, the McCoys live right next door. Yes, I know. The girls are all right, Marge and Penny, but the fellas, they play football, you know. Savages. That's what they are.
Hello there, YouTube. It's another episode of the SynthCast, and I am here with... Why do you keep changing your fucking username every fucking time? It's... God, dude, you gotta stop doing that. Stop changing your fucking name. You have an identity crisis.
Yes, I do have an identity crisis. This is Ivan, formerly known as Lord Meatball. I currently go by CyberianDenizen on YouTube and Discord. I was featured in a lot of SynthCool's videos as titular characters such as Joe, Quagmire, and others.
Grill Boomer's son.
Grill Boomer's son.
Damn. Should there be another Grill Boomer, or is that kind of like a one time?
I think there should be another Beater Show.
No, Beater Show's fucking done. I'm an adult now. If I'm like, when I was like a dumb fucking, like when I was like 19, I was like funny. If you see someone like over the age of like now I'm 22 now. If I'm still doing fucking Beater Show, it's like really sad.
Yeah, but it's one of your like signature acts.
I'm more invested in the Homer Show because I think you could give it, because like with the Homer Show, what I like about it is like it's only going to be Springfield characters. You know, it's going to like make sense. There's like an actual like, you know, it's not just like, oh hey, Homer Simpson meets fucking Optimus Prime. No, it's actually going to be like, you know, like Homer Show is the new Beater Show.
Okay, yeah, but I mean, people like the absurdity of the Beater Show. They liked the wackiness of it. The more grounded it gets, the more you're just basically making The Simpsons too.
Oh, what about the Gut Show? Didn't anyone like the Gut Show? You know, it's like
the Gut Show is okay. I liked it. Let me see what the views are in that.
What about Welcome to Mooseport? I think Welcome to Mooseport had some like real vibes there. It had a real strength to it.
So the Gut Show got like 9,000. Welcome to Mooseport got like 3,000.
Oh man.
And then one of the most excuse me, one of the most popular ones of all these show formats was the original Beater Show.
Yeah, that was the most viewed Beater Show.
Oh, hold on, I'm gonna sneeze. Okay, never mind. Okay, I'm good.
Bless
Jesus.
you.
All right.
God bless you.
Oh yes, God bless me. I'm blessed by God. Yeah, the Beater Show got 42,000.
I mean, it's been a while since I got a video over 100K.
Yeah.
I'm sounding very egotistical right now, just talking about my YouTube videos.
I mean, it's just, you know, you're a bigger YouTuber than I am, and you know, you get more traffic, so it's a topic of conversation. It's not really egotistical.
Are you giving yourself a pity party right now?
I'm not giving myself a pity party.
Then you make me feel like a douchebag. It's like you have more than me. It's like, oh, I'm sorry.
Well, no, I'm not like hanging that over your head. I'm just saying like that's like a fact.
Yeah, I guess I am pretty awesome. Thank you.
Oh yeah, I guess today we're going to fillet you on the podcast for clout.
A little
clout purposes.
Chuck sucking fuck.
Chuck sucking fuck.
Chuck.
Except it's synths scream and ream.
Here's a video idea for you. Why don't you have a green screen, and you actually you made a fishing video, which was pretty funny. You need to do more with that green screen, because like I don't have a green screen. You could do so much with that. Here's what you got to do: you get a trucker hat. Mm-hmm. The background is Sneed's Feed and Seed, and it's just you screaming in the fucking trucker hat.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you got it. If you make if you spend every day making stupid shit posts like that, that's gonna get you on the algorithm.
That's actually an excellent idea.
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna write that one down.
Is that like what kind of green screen is it? Is it like a green blanket you use or what?
So I bought the green screen like a while ago. It's a pretty much it's just like a multi-purpose green screen, which is pretty much just like a green linen cloth that you buy off Amazon. I need to get like a green screen rack. I actually had that, like, you can notice it in the video. There's like a brick outline that shows sometimes when the green screen gets like blown out with light. Because I have it like wrapped around like this like chimney in my bedroom, because my bedroom's underneath the living room that has a chimney in it. So there's like a double chimney, so it goes up like that. So I have it like wrapped around there and pinned to the wall, so it's like it stays flat. Yeah. And you can see the brick outline.
But you know, no one's watching your videos going like, you know, yeah, I want serious perfection on the green screen. You know, it's like especially on the memes.
I mean, I don't care about that, but like it's you know, it is pretty much just a green blanket. You know?
Oh, damn. Yeah. Whenever I do see sort of that on your green screen videos, I say, boy, I hope someone got fired for that blunder.
Oh, yeah.
That's my, I'm trying to turn that into a meme.
Boy, I sure hope someone got fired for that blunder.
Boy,
as a meme.
I hope someone sure got fucked in the ass for that blunder. I hope someone got fucking crucified and curb stomped for that blunder.
I hope somebody got taken around back and shot twice in the back of the head for that blunder.
I sure hope someone got cream pied for that blunder.
Oh my, okay, that's a bit too much.
Nah. You know, it's, look, here's the rule of podcasting, Ivan, from a professional podcaster. You can't, like, let bits die. You got to keep the ball rolling.
Oh yeah, professional shock jock, SynthCool. We got to keep the ball rolling on the bits always.
I was listening to I was doing the dishes yesterday, and I was like, you know what? It's been like over a year since I really listened to Cumtown. So you know, I listened to a little Cumtown, their most recent episode, and it's just like February Dick. What if it was called Febu-Dick-uary? And I'm like, these guys are making a fucking living on that. It makes me fucking jealous.
I mean, yeah, often, you know, when you start off a podcast in its earliest stages, and you know, you stick to only like the philosophical bits where it's just like, oh, what you know, what art thou, SynthCool? And then, you know, you've got all the big boys making just like the most retarded shit ever, just like constantly. I mean, how do you think Joe Rogan got big? It's because he's retarded. Like, he's just an idiot.
Yeah, I mean, but I'll give him this. He has a good like variety wise. The guest carry Rogan. You know, Joe Rogan. It's like it's like. It really, the episode's quality really depends on the guest, and he does have a wide roster. I'll give him that.
I mean, you're not wrong about that. The guests really do help, and any good podcast has to have good guests. You know, any well, maybe not always. Some podcasts are literally just some guy reading his like fan fiction in the microphone.
Oh, but, like who?
Oh, like fucking like Riverdale, that podcast or whatever it's called.
There's a Riverdale podcast.
Yeah, it's like I don't know what it is exactly because I haven't watched it, but I know it's just like basically some guy like reading and acting out his story on his podcast, and people really like it apparently, and there's a lot of others like that. And then there's like history podcasts, and really just if you can talk and you have a microphone, you've got a podcast pretty much in this day and age. Like there's a podcast for everything.
Imagine like putting so much effort into talking about Archie. That's really fucking sad.
Into Archie.
You know, Yeah, I guess everything can be a podcast. Just even like, talking about like the poops you take, like, like you take a shit every day. You describe that shit on your podcast, the poop.
Yeah,
podcast.
you could have the shit cast and just be like, hey, I woke up this morning. I took a big nutty shit. Good night. Podcast over.
That has to be a real fucking thing somewhere. Just
I guarantee there's something like that out there. Like I guarantee it. I know what a lot of people tend to do is they like to tell stories on their podcast. Do you have any fun stories for us?
Like
SynthCool?
You mean like fictional stories or like real life stories or what? Real
life. You got to get into the nougaty core of your life. We got to let your fans know more about you.
Fuck, well, I mean, there is a bunch of stories, but it's just like, do I really want to talk about them? I mean, they're kind of like boring. Like I go.
Okay. I got one.
All right.
I got one.
All right.
I got one for myself. Right?
Okay, go.
So, when I was in kindergarten,
you were molested.
Oh my god! No, what the fuck?
I thought I was talking about my childhood story. Sorry.
Oh, geez. Gee whiz. Yeah.
All right, let's hear.
Needed water after that one. Okay, so here's a fun story from my childhood. When I was like in kindergarten, I lived on like a farm, right? And me and the local kids went down to the horse pasture to climb the gate because we were dumb. And when I climbed the gate, I fell over it and landed into the horse pasture. And I tried to get out of the horse pasture because there was like a little trench that ran underneath the fence that I tried to go through. But I had to get around the horse because the horse was just like standing there watching us climb it. And when I went around to go to the trench, I got kicked by the horse twice and knocked out cold. And I was left in the mud for several hours.
Where you go to like the hospital for a long time, or like?
No, it wasn't like nothing was broken. I just got the shit knocked out of me.
Damn, dude. I mean, you could have been seriously hurt.
Yeah, somehow I wasn't. But I had 2 giant like horseshoe prints on my chest after that. Because I guess like the first kick like knocked the wind out of me, and then the second kick just knocked me out.
Were your parents like all pissed off? Like, you shouldn't have went in there or what?
No, they were mortified. They thought I was dead. Because I'd been gone for a few hours, and they were like, where is he? Where's Ivan? And I was taking a dirt nap somewhere up the road.
I mean, yeah, there's a bunch of horses around. Like when I did newspaper delivery, I would deliver papers on the dirt roads, and people wouldn't even like, the horses would just be wandering on the fucking streets.
Yeah,
with like no fucks given. And I would just, this one house just had like, there was just a big horse steaming pile of shit that they did not take care of. So I just thought it'd be funny, put like the newspapers on that horse shit. And I kept doing it because no one was complaining about it. Like,
oh my God.
So there was just multiple papers on that shit. No one was picking them up. I guess they were like on a long ass vacation, but.
So you just kept tacking these like newspapers onto this giant mound of shit.
I mean, you have to understand. I was like, it was a really fucking tiring job where I had to work like 7 days a week.
Fucking skill shot though, right?
Yeah. But man, I am really good at throwing. I do wish ultimate frisbee was like a serious sport in America, because I would be a professional frisbee player. That was like my passion in life, and then just never happened.
Man, back when I took a gym class in high school, we used to do ultimate frisbee, and when we did that, I don't know how. Like, I guess like maybe no one else cared, but it was like a weird modified form of football that we played, where there were 2 teams and we threw the frisbee at each other to advance, and if the other team intercepted it, then it would just go to them. Then they try to advance, and the whole goal was to try and get to the end zone of each side. It was actually a pretty fucking fun game.
Yeah, dude, it's
that shit.
is fun.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I was saying that. Yo, shit, yeah, it was fun.
Yeah. Well, whenever I did like the quote unquote kickoff with the frisbee, imagine this, right? I'm at the end of a gym. I fucking nuke the frisbee down the gym. And it like would audibly hit the back wall of the gym and just go like, and like reverberate. And during the kickoff, like I'd always do shit like that because during the kickoff, as soon as you threw it, you had to run to try and like gain ground on them to prevent them from advancing. So they'd be like trying to scramble to get the frisbee out of like a corner or something. And I'd already be at their goal line, just like, hey guys, try moving forward now, bitches. And yeah, I mean frisbee, I don't know what it is about frisbees, but frisbeeing is fun.
Dude,
it's
I love frisbees, man. They fucking rule.
Best like 1960s like lonely middle-aged man invention ever.
I do. Frisbees were the rage. The lamest sport in gym was either lacrosse or baseball because it's like you have to like wait to do anything. It's like really fucking boring. And lacrosse honestly sucks because it's just a bunch of dumb kids like hitting each other with sticks.
Lacrosse I thought was pretty uninteresting, but we didn't really play. Well, I went to a public school, so we didn't really play baseball. We played like either t-ball or we played something called New York street ball, which New York street ball is a fun one because basically imagine this. Replace the baseball or the softball with like a giant like a hard kick ball, but it was like a light hard kick ball. And you had to hit this with like a big bat. And it was kind of fun.
I mean, I went to a public school too, but I mean, we only really did. It was called softball, and we would sometimes do it inside or outside. We didn't do like baseball, but softball and baseball are basically the same, right? Like,
I mean, yeah, pretty much.
I actually have a weird phobia of baseball. Like I cannot like if I was a batter, I would just be freaking out if the ball hit me in the fucking face. I don't know how baseball players do it.
I mean, that's a real fear. That is a real thing. Baseball players who bat often, well, they all bat. They often do get hit with balls. It's called a bean when you hit someone with a ball. When you bean them. And when you bean them, they take the first base. So it's like really... It's not encouraged to hit some other player with a ball.
Yeah, but it's like it's bound to happen. Like,
yeah.
I mean, at school we had those like nice plushy balls, and I'm like, it's pretty fun to hit like one of those, but
yeah, I mean, the whole point of softball is just to have a ball that's not made of hardened cork flying at you.
That's why it's for girls.
I mean, the softball team in high school usually was made up of only girls. That is true.
Can there be a men's softball? How can we get like men's softball going?
I mean, you could. I think they would just put you into the girls team and just make it like a co-ed team.
Okay, I mean, just anything but that hard fucking ball, dude. You hear stories of people in the audiences just getting fucking nuked in the face with those baseballs.
Yeah, baseball in my high school wasn't like the biggest sport. It's basically just like where all the football players went to play sports when football wasn't in, and they'd either play baseball or they would try to play like basketball. And usually the people that like did those were like fucking like the real skinny guys on the football team, the guys who could run, like the wide receivers, the tight ends, the people like that.
Yeah.
Linebackers. Especially the linebackers. I don't know why linebackers love fucking baseball so much. They always played that shit.
I mean, I know you were a football player in high school, but if you had a kid, would you let your kid play football? You know, especially with all the concussions and shit.
I mean, if you're safe enough in football, you can get out of it with no injuries. Like, I never got an injury in football, and I saw quite a bit of action when I was in it, because I was a lineman and I was a pretty big guy. So they were always like, okay, you take 3 people on their side. Like, I was like the guy that plugged up the line all the time. So I was always like butting heads with people and getting into the dog pile at the fucking bottom. But if I had a kid and they wanted to play football, if I could like support them in doing that, I'd let them if they wanted to. I'm not gonna like force them.
I guess if they had, modern equipment for like high schools is pretty good, right? Like,
it's relatively okay. It, like, if you go from like head to toe in terms of equipment, like the equipment they wear, the helmet is what they invest in the most. The helmets are always pretty good. The shoulder pads are okay for the most part. The thigh pads are usually like old reused fucking bullshit. And then the cleats are oftentimes just like hand-me-downs.
I mean, I imagine if a kid like snapped his bones on the field, like the school would be pretty much in lawsuit trouble, you know?
No, you have to sign a waiver before you join football.
Really?
For injury.
Dude,
yeah.
Fuck that, man. My kid's not playing fucking football.
Oh no, like they make you sign it for every sport. Because every sport has a risk of injury.
Yeah, but I mean, like, football is sort of like the big one. You know, you can't. I mean, you can't really get injured too much in basketball. You know, like.
Oh no, basketball is worse. Believe it or not.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, there's more injuries in basketball than there are in football because basketball is still a contact sport, and even when you're like blocking somebody or guarding somebody, many times people get fucking whacked in the nose and get their nose broken.
Yeah, here's the thing. Injuries in basketball is like a sprained ankle or like occasionally something small will get broken. With football, it's like irreplaceable sort of injury. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you see that photo of the basketball player in the NBA who like had his leg snap and like the bone went through his leg.
Wait, dude, that was college ball, and I actually saw that live at my grandparents' house. My uncles were watching college bat, and they were like screaming of like "Holy shit!" when that was live, man.
I mean, basketball still has it's a big share of injuries. Actually, like some basketball players, like right now, like I think like LeBron James or something. Started wearing some like carbon fiber like face masks on their faces so they didn't get their nose broken because they kept getting their fucking face thwacked.
Okay, I guess basketball was the wrong example. What's a major sport you're like not likely to get injured from?
Maybe soccer. I mean, you could probably still get injured from that, but I think really some of the safest ones are like baseball. Like baseball or maybe badminton or tennis. Although tennis also has its pretty fair share of injuries, so I don't know.
I mean, I played some tennis, but it wasn't like anything it was just me, like, and some friends going to like the middle school tennis. Tennis courts that were covered in bird shit.
Yeah,
I got every fucking time, but it's just, and then we
went to
lose a ball. But yeah,
it was pretty fun when we did tennis. Back in high school, we had like tennis courts in our high school, and it actually looked pretty nice from like far away. But once you get on the actual tarmac of the tennis court, that place was in like active decay because it's just been like sitting in the weather for like 40 years. And not like upkept really that much, but the in gym when we did tennis, it was actually pretty fun, especially badminton. I love badminton. That was a fun.
Get the fuck out! Badminton sucks ass, dude. Badminton is
kinda, but it's like a fun sport. It's like a pretty low intensity fun sport. It's not that bad.
No, it's the worst. And
But tennis was pretty great.
I was really good at tennis. I when in high school I wanted to be a tennis instructor, but I just never got with it because I didn't want to buy all the much equipment.
You don't want to buy much equipment. All you have to do is like buy a rack and some clothes.
Oh, okay. I phrased it wrong. I didn't want to waste my time after school and join the tennis team.
I mean, that's fair. Yeah, that's fine. I get that. After a while when I was in football, I was just like, I kind of hate this. Like, I want to do something else. Because, heavens.
Bless you.
Oh, yes.
God bless you.
After a while in football, I was just like, you know what, man? I don't like this anymore. Because at the time, I was like a lieutenant of the game club. And
what?
I was like, yeah.
What the fuck is a game club? Like board games or?
Board games, video games, party games, stuff like that. You go there and you play games.
This was like at high school?
Yeah.
I didn't have a fucking game room.
Well, we just did it in the library when school was out. It was like an after school thing.
Oh.
Yeah. So I was at the time I was like an elected lieutenant of the club, so I was like, I'd rather be doing that than this at this point. But I still want to do football because I was like pretty committed to it because it's like a big thing, you know. It's like it's a way to get your varsity letter, you know, and it's I played it for a while, and then my family had to move like twice in a row within like a year, so I just couldn't make it to practice because if there's one thing about football that's definitely true, it's that football will take away your summer.
Oh, all the traveling, right? Like, but those bus rides.
No. It's for strength and conditioning and like training. They will make you commit to having your entire summer as soon as school's out, where you have to go back to school every day at 7 a.m. to go work out until about 2 p.m. every weekday.
Do you feel
and
like
if you do 2 a days, you have to get out at 4 instead of 2?
Don't you ever feel like that's a little dystopian? Like kids around the world are like cracking each other's skulls just to get a scholarship?
I mean, yeah, kind of. It's actually kind of fucked up. I mean, there was one thing that we dreaded the most in football, and that was the day that the National Guardsmen would come. And when the National Guardsmen would come, they would basically run us like to death and just make us do all these like really hard exercises and just really punitive random bullshit. And
Why?
I don't know.
It's like
I really don't know. But
damn,
they'd make us do like military style exercises, which I actually like would sometimes, you know, just have a gut feeling. And I'd be like, oh God, what if today's the day? And then I'd skip out on football because I didn't want to, you know, run until I puked and get yelled at by a National Guard sergeant.
I mean, can't you just say, I mean, you're still like a kid. You could just say, fuck you, you know?
Well, if you do that, then the coach isn't going to like you. They won't like play you as much because if you're disobedient, they will see that as disloyalty.
I mean, did you have any plans to like play football in college? I mean, how serious was it? Like,
I mean, it wasn't really that serious. It was just like, you know, I wanted to play so I could get into varsity and, you know, just have proof that I did something in high school. And mostly I just kind of treated it as like an exercise. You know, I just wanted to exercise a bit, lose some weight, you know, get in shape. Man. And at the time I was actually in pretty damn good shape from football, even though I was still pretty heavy set. Because most of the stuff we did was either lifting or just running. And the running stuff I really hated because I'm a fucking fat ass, so I can't run. Even in football, I can't really run. But the lifting stuff was my favorite. I loved lifting. Anything lifting that we did was just great. And it it was really high intensity shit too. Like looking back at it, it was like really fucking like, goddamn.
Well, I mean, in those towns, it's like the football is like their fucking religion there. You know, they want the next big NFL player to be from their town. It's like from their school. You know, that's how they get the money. It's so of course
the funny thing about that. All right, and this may sound like a complete and total lie, but I actually went to school with Joe Burrow.
Oh yeah. I think you mentioned this once. I didn't. I thought it was just a joke, but you.
No, yeah, I really did.
Ooh, you got any like secrets? Any dirt? You know, it was like only on my podcast you could hear the real scoop on Super Bowl loser. Right? I didn't watch it.
Yeah, he lost the Super Bowl, but he was he had a lot of momentum up until that point, and yeah, he. I mean, I really can't say anything bad about him. He was actually a pretty cool guy. Like you'd think like a really big like football guy would be like a meat-headed jock fucking asshole, but he and like his whole team that year, like his whole senior team of 2014, they were all just really cool people. They just loved to have fun with the game, and they took us to state, and that's how Joe Burrow got famous initially, because he got like some award called like Mr. Football or something like that, because he just pulled off some really like crazy shit during his whole run there.
Dude, how tight were you with the guy? Can you like hit him up and be like, "Yo, it's me"? Can you like?
I mean, I might have been able to before he got NFL famous, but nowadays I assume that his social media is like managed by like a team. But I did know him, and I was pretty okay with him. Like he remembered my face, and he'd be like, "Hey, Ivan, how you doing?"
Dude, yeah.
Whenever he like came to games afterwards.
Dude, tell him to give you like a job of like NFL promoter. Like, you know, you can make content for like the NFL, dude.
No, nah.
Come on.
Couldn't do that. I'm not that tight with him.
You're
yeah, it's not like I was like his best friend. It was more like I was on good terms with him, and I knew him.
You ever had like a conversation with him? You know, like, do you ever like in the locker room? You ever like slapped his ass? Or you guys just like ass slappers? Like what?
Not often, believe it or not. It wasn't a very often thing.
Often, so it did happen. Like,
well, it happened with the senior team a lot. The senior team were tight as a motherfucker. They'd always like, you know, they'd be rowdy in there a bit, but usually after like exercises and strength and conditioning, we'd all just be fucking beat up and want to go home.
Damn.
But like, I don't know. I mean, Joe was a cool guy. He led the team back then, and a lot of the seniors, like, they saw me. They saw me as a freshman, kind of as like a mascot for the team in a weird way, because oftentimes during the running exercises, I would just be sucking shit the whole time, just like, you know, just like fucking like dying. And one day there was a time when, you know, the seniors had the freshmen run with them, where they went up the hill, like up and down the hill, I think is what it was. And I joined them in that, and they were like, "Oh, come on, Ivan, you can do it." And I was like, "Fuck you, I'm gonna do it harder." And I just like bolted up the fucking hill, and they were just like, "Let's go, Ivan, let's go." And they were just like excited by the fact that I just had this like sudden determination to run like a motherfucker up the hill, even though it hurt like a bitch, even though it sucked. They were like really encouraging, and after that point, I think it was when Joe Burrow kind of like had some respect for me and like the rest of the seniors, because they were like, "Damn, Ivan's fucking, he's cool." But they mostly thought I was like, they mostly just like the dumb fucking jokes I used to say when I was a freshman. And I used to say the dumbest shit on the team.
You know, this sounds absolutely fan fiction tier right now.
Oh yeah, it does. It absolutely does. But like, this is real. It's like verifiable, like real.
And then he held me and gave me a kiss.
Well, we were never close.
You know,
he was just like Like, okay, so here's how like the structure was for the team, right? There was the senior varsity team, there was the junior varsity team, then there's the freshman team at the time. I was on the freshman team, so I was like 2 teams removed from Joe Burrow. But we all worked out together. Like all of us, like we would get together and we work out. And yeah, I mean, there was a lot of bleed in between junior varsity and the freshman team and junior varsity and the senior team. But the senior team were definitely like the leaders of things. They'd like lead the exercises. They'd lead like the runs and stuff like that. So that's kind of how that came out to be. But like, yeah, I used to do some really off the cuff shit when I was in football. Like I was just a fucking idiot. One time I sacked a quarterback and teabagged him.
That's what we call a pro gamer move.
Oh yeah. No, that literally happened. And like the whole team fucking loved it. They were just like, holy shit, Ivan, you're a savage. And like that was just like the dumb shit I used to do. And there's like a really fun story where in 8th grade football, I was in the bathroom getting like my football fucking armor on, and this bus pulls up next to the bathroom, and it's the entire opposing team, and they're just fucking like crowding around the bathroom, and they start hammering on the door, and they're just like, "Hey Billy, are you in there?" And I'm just like fucking dead silent. I'm like, oh god, I'm gonna get killed. And they like even tried opening the door and like trying to like, you know, fucking yell at me in the stall, like, "Hey, are you in there? Billy, are you in there?
Well, you took the biggest
get out. We gotta go face the team." Huh?
You took the biggest fattest shit.
I wasn't actually taking a shit at that time.
Well,
I was just getting changed. Yeah, I was just in the stall putting my shit on, and I walk out of the stall with my football gear on, full regalia, you know, even my helmet's on, and I just look at this entire team that's crowded around the door. This entire like I'm wearing like green and white. They're wearing like purple and black.
It was, I imagine it's like that image of like the Coke can killing the Pepsi can.
I walk out of the door. I swing open the fucking door of this decrepit shack of a bathroom, and I just look at them and I go, "Gentlemen." And then I just walk over to my team.
Did you tip your fedora too?
No. That I was really into like the fucking like Team Fortress memes, so I was just like imagining myself as the spy in that moment, and I was just like, "Gentlemen."
God damn.
And then I walked right out, and they recognized me when I was on the line, and they were like, "Hey, get that fucker."
And that's that's how they just like body slammed you. I mean, who won that game that day?
Well, I think we won the game, but the line, like their entire line, was just like making it a mission to fuck with me. And because I was too big of a guy to take down, they would just like I'd just be dragging them. Like they'd be like wrapped around my waist, and I'd just be like walking with them, like attached to my waist. It was actually kind of pathetic sometimes.
Well, a lot of 8th graders are like fucking twigs, dude. Like you can't really like jocks don't really come until like high school. You know what I mean? Like in middle school, even the puny kids play football.
Yeah, I mean, I was a relatively like strong, like 280, 290 pound kid at the time, and
you were a farm boy.
Yeah, the farm boy. And these guys were just like fucking twigs. Like they were just blowing in the wind every time they'd try to go against me. And like they just get fucking bullied on the field. But I remember one moment there was a like a massive fucking dog pile. Like just everyone, the whole line collapsed. There was like a run play, and we all just like fucking piled up on each other in that game. And I literally like I got lifted up by all the bodies going underneath me, and then I got like turned. And for a second, I was like, why am I looking at the sky before hitting the grass? And then like 2 other people like jumped on me. trying to get to the ball, and I was just like, holy shit, that was like an explosion. That was like me getting hit with a grenade and flying in the air in Normandy.
This is why I would not let my kids play fucking football. You're not making a good case for letting your kids play football.
I mean, I didn't get hurt.
I mean, it sounded like it came close sometimes.
Oh yeah, sure. I mean, the one time I did get hurt actually was from practice.
Oh.
I got injured during practice. Doing
somersaults or jumping jacks?
Oh no! We were doing a play where we had to recover. Like, I recovered a fumble during a play, and my foot went into a hole in the grass and twisted.
Do they not even fucking take care of the holes on the on the field, or?
Well, this was the auxiliary field, so no. Because at the high school, there's like a main field, there's the band field that the freshmen would sometimes practice in, and then there was the auxiliary field, which is just a big wide open space that's just for other shit. You know, they usually have soccer games there.
Yeah, you could find bottles all over there, syringes.
It was next to a graveyard.
Or why didn't you play in the graveyard?
Well, that's obvious.
You gotta, like, if you go to a graveyard and you look at like the couple tombstones from like people who got married in the 40s, you would like notice a huge age difference between them.
Yeah. A lot of the dumb fucking kids would go to that graveyard and they'd like tip over gravestones and like spray paint swastikas on the headstones.
Wow, those guys sound freaking epic, dude.
Oh yeah, it was pretty bad. Pretty bad.
Yeah.
And from anyone inferring where I'm from based on the fact that I said like, oh, I know Joe Burrow. This is in fact in the Plains, Ohio, the small fucking shit town that I went to high school in. There was a gang there, actually. There were people that called themselves a gang called the Plains Posse.
Shh, don't talk about them. They might actually like kill us.
Like, I remember seeing a thing a while back where someone had like a trailer that was like empty, right? Like just like a mobile home. And somebody had broken in and like broken all the windows and like smashed a bunch of shit. And they spray painted on the linoleum the Plains Posse.
That's such a stupid fucking name, the Plains Posse.
Yeah, I know.
You know, I'm gonna name this video. I'm gonna with the thumbnail. It's gonna be a big picture of Joe Burrow, and it's gonna be like Joe Burrow's best friend. That's gonna be the name of this episode.
Do that.
Okay.
Don't do that.
Joe,
I mean,
can I have Joe Burrow in the title of this episode? Just like,
I mean, think of it as like a fun little Easter egg, not as like a mainstay.
Okay. But I mean, you know, if it was named Joe Burrow's best friend, maybe Joe Burrow would be like scrolling YouTube and he would be like, oh, Ivan, I remember Ivan, you know, and then he like sends a private jet to your house and like.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen. I mean, you could try. I mean, I don't know, maybe, but I don't think he's gonna actually like give a shit.
Well, dude, when the Plains Posse fucking decapitates you, only Joe Burrow is gonna help you out.
Oh my god, dude, the Plains is a weird place, man. Like the one time in class, we were all in class, and we were in biology and we saw smoke outside from the window and this like random segment of grass, like maybe like 500 yards away, just caught on fire for no reason.
No. Is there any fracking going on over there?
No.
Just
a random grass fire, and this like grass fire was like built like it was making enough smoke that it looked like a fucking like whole house is on fire, and we were all like outside just like watching it like ooh, there's a big fire over there, and
I mean usually when
I drew
people like dump a bunch of chemicals on grass like like eventually as time goes on, like there'll be some sort of fire from the sun, right?
Yeah, but this was literally just like grass catching on fire for like no reason. Just like the sun caught it on fire. And I drove past the spot that, caught on fire, and there was nothing there at all. Like it was just literally like a square of grass underneath a tree that caught on fire for no reason.
It was a sign.
Weird.
It was a sign to get out of the plains.
Oh yes, it was a sign. It was a sign to leave.
Didn't you tell me that in your state? Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. What were you gonna say?
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay, I was gonna say, like, didn't you tell me that like something like in your state, like a bunch of like toxic shit was dumped in the lake and no fucks were given?
Oh yeah. That's DuPont and 3M. Those two companies, they were making Teflon, and the factories are all over the like West Virginia and Ohio side of the Ohio River, and they were just like dumping their Teflon waste into the water illegally. And Teflon and C8, which is another chemical compound. It's a massive carcinogen. Those are in the water now, everywhere, pretty much.
Are they still doing it, or?
Not anymore, as far as I know. But
did they, was there any like consequences? Like,
not really.
Damn.
But there's been consequences for us. There's been a lot of like cancer clusters and stuff like that. People just getting cancer out of the blue from drinking the drinking water, and there's a lot of because the Ohio River is a big river and it connects to the Mississippi. Teflon poisoning or Teflon and like C8 it's actually spread throughout the entire United States now. So there's almost no water supply that isn't contaminated by at least some part of C8 or Teflon. But here is the source, and here's where it's the worst.
So I'm like, what can you do to lower the risk? Like, do water filters do anything against that shit? Like,
probably. C8 is a pretty small compound, so it's pretty hard to filter out. But you could probably get like a chemical, like a charcoal filter for your water. That might help a bit, but besides that, really the only solution is to either drink bottled water or just deal with it.
Apparently, I mean, you ever thought about getting into like those what the fuck are they called? Like the big water. I'm sounding really stupid, but it's like you go to the office and those big water jugs.
Oh yeah, those are pretty funny. In my film class, they had one of those like machines that like dispenses water with a whole bunch of water jugs next to it, and I couldn't even tell if they were like full or empty or whatever. So I was and it just like sat there. No one ever used it. And one day, like I just saw somebody like put their fucking water bottle underneath there, and like actual water came out. And I was like, huh? What the fuck? This thing actually works? And they're like, yeah, duh. We get water deliveries all the time. No one ever uses it. And I was like, oh, because I was just like going down the hallway to drink like fucking tap water from the fountain, and there's just a big like water purifier thing right there.
Yeah, you got to get the water filters. You got to get the purest water because, quite frankly, I don't want cancer from my drinking water.
Well, if you move to Ohio, you'll definitely get cancer from drinking water.
I love it when I drink water, get cancer, and then make a Facebook page why critical race theory is such a big issue.
That's like the quintessential decaying boomer move. Just like, like they don't even know they got cancer. They're just like, I hate libtards. Coughs up blood.
Yeah, you hear the like Chevron just dumped like so much like fucking 15 billion gallons worth of waste into the rivers. and no fucks given. Just like, Joe Biden doesn't, like no news station gives a fuck. It's just like, yeah, it's a thing.
You should know about some of the shit that some of the local dipshit boomers are doing. There's been like a guerrilla campaign by these like fucking idiots to take these stickers of Joe Biden and put them on the gas pump pointing at the price. Like it's just Joe Biden pointing. And above Joe Biden, it says, "I did that."
Oh, I mean, I've seen some of those.
It's so dumb.
I don't even fucking like Joe Biden, but I feel like people have like the dumbest fucking reasons to like hate this senile fuck.
Yeah, I get that he's like an old man. He's like a real sleepy fucking weirdo, and he's like a neoliberal fucking just total like do nothing fucking career politician. But like people despise him for like the absolute wrong reasons. Like when I see people who are like, let's go Brandon, fuck Joe Biden. Just like, why do you hate him? And and then they pull out some wacky bullshit like monster of the day fucking quote from Tucker Carlson. And it's just like, that isn't even real. Like you're not making any sense. You have no actual like position. You're just hating to hate. Like in a weird way, like it's almost like they're trying to mimic like the never Trumpers and the people that were like against Trump during his presidency, but they have no actual reasons why they're against Biden. They're just like, he's a sleepy old man. Ha ha ha. He make gas go high.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. Like, what do they think the president does? Just stand on top of gas stations just with like a big signs going like, put price down. Like, also the Let's Go Brandon thing is also really funny. I would love to go to one of those chants and just start saying like, we eat ass, and then they all sort of like sheep. They just start chanting that instead of Let's Go Brandon.
I mean, they probably started chanting that because I mean, like the whole Let's Go Brandon thing started from like Talladega, like the Talladega Speedway. And often at the Talladega Speedway, they have a chant where they say, "Show us your butthole," and that's real, by the way. That's real.
Oh yeah,
that's like an actual real thing.
I've seen those videos.
Yeah, so you could probably just be like, "I eat ass," or be like, "Oh god," you have to like use the same tenor as Let's Go Brandon. So
we
you'd be
want
like,
dick. No, wait, we want big dick. We want big dick.
I see wiener. I see wiener. Hey, that should be the next chant.
Well, speaking of I see wiener, I have to go take a piss right now, so I'm gonna let you entertain the audience for like 2 minutes. Is that okay?
Okay.
So, I mean, just talk about Succession or something.
Oh yeah, Succession. I want that is a show that I watched. It is a good show. I really did like Succession. It's pretty good. If you like to listen to business jargon, go watch it. It's also got a very good sense of humor. Aside from that, though, I'm not going to continue talking about Succession just because you told me to. So, hello, audience of SynthCool. If you are enjoying the show, make sure to go and navigate to the search bar on YouTube, type in SyberianDenizen, and click on the profile and subscribe. That's me. Yeah, me. Subscribe to me, because why not, I guess. Also, please do not like flood my socials. Just be like, "Oh, you know Joe Burrow." Like that. I don't want to like actually be like a headache for him if he ever has to deal with that, because the dude's like a millionaire now. Like he's not gonna talk to me. I'm some like fucking decrepit, decaying like high school burnout. Like he's not gonna want to fucking even come close to me with like a 12-foot pole, like 20-foot pole. Pretty sure right now he and other people like him who have reached that level of fame are probably getting like cocaine snorted off their dick in like fucking Los Angeles. I mean, he's a cool guy. He's a great person. I can attest that he's a good person. he like donated a bunch of money to the like local food pantry here, and like it just fucking so much money. Like he basically single-handedly like made the food pantry and like the food situation here better just from using his fame. But yeah, just don't go doing that stuff. Thank you. Bye. Or not bye. Yeah. So while SynthCool's emptying out all of his kidney stones, I'd like to ask the audience this one question. If you had any favorite video of SynthCool's or even of mine, what is it? Because I think SynthCool has a bit of an issue with figuring out what works and what doesn't work. Because the Mooseport show is a total flop. So if you let us know what you enjoyed the most in the comments. So I guess it could be like a bit of a wake-up call to synth. So go ahead and do that. Navigate down to the comments, log into your little account, and just be like, I really liked the Beater show. And yeah. Hi, SynthCool. How you're back?
Oh, that was such an intense piss. What I missed?
How many kidney stones did you lose?
No kidney stones, but it's just like I love taking a piss, and I love scratching my dick shaft hair.
Hey, I mean, that could be a new T-shirt. I love pissing. Quote SynthCool.
I love pissing.
Yeah, just I love pissing.
I mean, pissing does. It does feel good, like I'm not going to deny.
Well, yeah. Pissing is a quintessential part of the human experience.
Welcome to the Piss Podcast, where we talk all things piss.
Welcome to the Pisscast.
The Pisscast. So,
yeah.
So today's guest is the best friend of Joe Burrows, and he's going to describe his Super Bowl piss techniques. So
yes.
you probably were in the same room where Joe Burrow has pissed in, like the locker room.
Oh yes.
Like he used the bathroom in the locker room. How was that? Did you like notice? Is he like a quiet pisser, a heavy pisser?
I do not recall.
No. Well, get the fuck off my podcast. You're officially disbarred from the Pisscast.
You're disbarred. Like I'm a lawyer. I've been removed by council committee. I've got my piss license revoked.
You need a license to like literally shit or piss.
Oh my god. That could be your next video. Just like a cop who like asks for people their license to shit. License to Shit
is such a good band name.
Yeah.
License to Shit.
Hello, my name is River, and this is License to Shit. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Permit to wipe.
Permit to wipe.
Oh god, dude! Just
born to shit, forced to wipe.
The Cumtown guy. This is me like having like green-eyed envy, but the Cumtown guys could be saying this exact thing and get like make like a living off of this.
Yeah, they could turn it into like the next big thing. Just like you'd have people just walking around the street going like, "Hey man, where's your license to shit?" It would just be it'd be a meme.
Nah, we'll start it first. We'll hashtag license to piss or shit.
Imagine if Joe Rogan said license to shit.
No, Joe Rogan would actually like take it like serious, like a serious topic.
All right, here's my impression. Okay, man. So I was doing some research, and the police actually make us in our license, our actual like Ohio or in our like state ID. There's a hidden license within the license. It's a license to shit.
And here's me as Jordan Peterson.
Well, that's very interesting, Joe Rogan, but I kind of justified a license to shit because only a few members of our society, really the kind of like, the ones who really lay down the law are the only ones who are really, respectful to have the license to shit. And, me, Jordan Peterson, I haven't pooped in 8 years.
Okay, I can't fucking do that. That fucking voice.
Really, for Jordan Peterson, you just have to be like Kermit the Frog.
No, you gotta be a Ray Romano.
But I guess Joe Rogan would reply to that, just be like, "Hey man, you ever did DMT? Look at these fucking monkeys. I'm a white nationalist."
Joe Rogan's not a white nationalist. He's an Italian. Italians can't be white nationalists.
Italians, I don't know. Do you think Italians are white? That's a fun question.
I mentioned this in another video, but I love those like far right Italian like anti-refugee marches, and then like when photos of them get posted online, a lot of the people commenting think like, oh, so are these guys the refugees?
God, I think the funniest thing I saw was like a bunch of like German Nazis who were marching, and they all just looked like inbred.
I mean,
like I don't know what it is about like about Nazis, but a lot of them are just like the most mangled looking people.
Well, I mean, with Nazism, it's sort of like, okay, I kind of suck at a lot of things, but I want the government to like secure me a spot as like top dog. So,
yeah, government support, government welfare for being a Chad. I want my government mandated waifu and my government mandated gains and muscles, so I can be a government mandated hero.
But going back to Joe Rogan, I mean, Joe Rogan's a dumb guy, but I don't think he's a racist. I'm just going to say that right now. I don't see Rogan as like a hardened racist. I see him more as sort of like a libertarian fuckhead, if anything.
I mean, yeah. Joe Rogan kind of treads this line of being this like libertarian fucking retard and being this like, just silly fellow. Like nowadays on the Joe Rogan podcast, like all you fucking see is just him being like, vaccines are bad. Vaccines are bad. It's just like, holy shit, man. Like, did someone pay you to say that? Because that's all he fucking says nowadays. Because before it went from being like DMT and monkeys to being like, it went from being like DMT and monkeys and having like the occasional right winger on to being like having a bunch of right wing talking heads on and talking about like anti-vax stuff.
I mean, the thing is like Joe Rogan, he says dumb shit, but it's sort of like kind of dumb shit like normal people would say. Like I've worked at a gym, and sometimes the people would a lot of people, I would have conversations with just normal people who go to gyms, and they would just say shit like Joe Rogan does. And I'm like, oh, It's stupid. But, I guess it's not like it, because like they're stupid, and then there's just like plain evil, like Ben Shapiro.
Yeah.
Like, Ben Shapiro's smart. So it's like,
well, you'll often find that stupidity and evil kind of go hand in hand. Many times, like, do you think that every single like billionaire is actually like this nefarious, like mustache twirling fucking weirdo? Because like they're not. They're just dipshits who have too much power, who are doing evil shit without knowing it. I mean, people like Ben Shapiro definitely know what they're doing. Like he's smart enough to know. He's also kind of a fucking nerdy twerp, so he's kind of funny to laugh at. But he knows that like the dumb shit he's saying is like evil. Same with like Dennis Prager. Like that guy is like a fucking like a Bond villain if he was like a Republican from Texas.
I do love the memes though. He's a very memeable man, which is why I kind of like love him. It's so easy to laugh at that dude. Because I mean, you would think like he would, if he wants to get more young people into conservatism, he would get like a spokesman, but no, it's just his like fat 80-year-old ass like on the fucking screen. It's like it's like you are not making conservative like sexy and cool. You're making it like
well, part of the grift is that he's trying to pretend to be like a professor. You know, he's trying to like pretend that he's like a conservative college person, even though PragerU is not a college at all. It's not any kind of educational institution.
I mean, I'm going to be real here. I don't really take. I mean, unless. Okay, I'm kind of rambling here, but I think most like honor roll mentality in America is pretty bullshit. I do think a lot of Ivy Leagues produce a lot of fucking bureaucratic shits.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, we can't always just rely on what's it called, like ethos or pathos. You know, it's we can't rely on authority all the time. You know, sometimes you have to judge things based on either just raw logic or just raw emotion, and you can't just rely on authoritativeness for everything. But with that being said, can't just throw it out completely. And I think that's what a lot of people kind of misunderstand when they talk about like you know, trying to be like breaking from the mainstream or whatever in terms of like science or news or whatever. Like, authoritativeness is good, but if you overuse your authoritativeness for like a spin on something, then it becomes bad. Well, and then you have to fight that with either like just logic or with just your gut feeling about like whether or not you think it's like good or bad. Because like if you have like an Ivy League student, like an Ivy League economist, just being like, we have to sacrifice millions of people to die for the economy, you know, logically that might hold up as like, yeah, that could like help the economy, but like morally, ethically, that emotionally, it's like, nah, no.
Well,
no.
My sort of reasoning is like there's like material and then sort of like stuff that's so vague you can't see, but it's important, but you can't like. I guess an example would be like, okay, like someone who had like studied the physical human body, or you know, like serious machine parts, or you know, chemicals or whatnot. It's like, yeah, I would take their authority because they have studied these material things that you could see, that you could touch. But like people, and this is why I do hate a lot of why like how elite lawyers are, because like stuff like concepts like justice or philosophy or like even the economy, because like you could take the humanity equation, in it, out it, whatever stuff like that, where you can't really see it. It's important, but you just can't see it. I do roll my eyes over you know, sort of the Ivy Leagues just absolutely steamrolling those things. I know I'm going all over the place, but
well, no, I get what you're saying. You know, when you have like an intellectual elite in the country who kind of just seems to only be circle jerking about things that aren't really like reality, it can come off as being like pretentious and just kind of not really important. But oftentimes a lot of those things that aren't material, like, you know, just philosophy, politics, so on and so forth, they end up having a pretty big effect on the world as a whole, like the actual material world, because it's like a micro versus macroeconomic sort of thing. The immaterial stuff like philosophy and politics, that's like macro scale, like it affects things over time. Real stuff is like micro, it affects things here and now. You know, it's kind of like that.
Well, yeah, of course, but it's like I feel like the notion you need to have a degree to be taken seriously politically, or you know, like you kind of understand, or just have a knowledge.
Yeah,
like I have a degree in philosophy. It's like, so what? You're still a fucking idiot. You know, like.
Yeah, I mean, it's mostly just as like a showcase of like, this paper proves that I have an authoritative opinion on this, but you can have a degree in something and still be a complete fucking moron, even in that subject. Jordan Peterson is a great example of this, where he is a philosophy professor but oftentimes, or not philosophy, sorry, psychology. He's a psychology professor, and oftentimes he just like he pulls out some really good stuff for psychology, and other times he just pulls out the like weirdest fucking complete batshit like crap. Like he made this like sketch. It's like a really schizo fucking sketch of like different energy fields and like stuff like that he would apply to his psychology. And he like treated femininity as being like chaotic and evil, and like masculinity as being like correct and true. And it's just like,
have you seen World History? Like, it's a little vague of a statement. It's like, I don't know how you could take someone like that even seriously.
Well, I mean, many people do.
No, I mean, because he here's the thing. He occasionally says something that's like true. Like he'll say something like, if you're feeling like very anxious or very nervous, like if you eat something, you will automatically cool down. I mean, not automatically, but like you will relax, which is true. And then he
like some of his base level
bullshit.
stuff is like pretty good. Like I know it's a meme, but the whole like clean your room thing to like get yourself out of a mental funk, like that's actually true. If you clean your room,
shut the fuck up.
I mean, that's just real shit though. That's real shit. You clean your room, it helps your mental health. If you eat, it kind of raises your hopes a bit. And if you if you give yourself motivation to exist, then you will continue to exist and you'll sail through. It'll be easier to sail through your kind of mental problem. But a lot of the more like involved shit that he talks about, where he starts getting to like politics and gender stuff, just doesn't make any fucking sense at all. And it's all just complete bullshit. So like with any authority, it's good to have like to hold it with a grain of salt, where it's like, yeah, you're probably right, but also it's good to be skeptical. I don't think Jordan Peterson is entirely correct, even though he has a PhD in philosophy, and he's a I keep saying the wrong thing. A PhD in psychology, and he keeps, he's a pretty authoritative figure in psychology in terms of just what is on paper. But I think honestly, he's a quack.
Oh, I mean, yeah, but there is something kind of like, you have to think like just before Peterson was getting really popular, a lot of like young dudes, like their prophet was like, I don't know, like Richard Spencer or some shit. And it's sort of like, well, Peterson's a quack and probably adds no benefit to the discourse, but it's like, at least those nerds aren't following like, I don't know, Adam Waffle. I call them Adam Waffle. At least they're, not getting like too far, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I think the worst people that young men kind of listen to nowadays are the like the self-improvement, like manosphere, workout until you bleed from your eyeballs people. Like oh God, what's a good example of this? Like Gary V and what's his fucking name? He's Joe Rogan's one of them. He kind of fits into that whole sphere of people, but he's not as bad as some others. There's some others out there that are like,
they're all interchangeable. You're talking like the don't put your hands in your pocket when you're like walking, or people will see you as feminine, or like some really shit.
And they're like you gotta lift, you gotta drink milk all the time and lift and drink milk and onions to counteract the soy, and you'll be like an ultra manly man. And it's just like, those people also give those men dating advice, and that dating advice is usually just the rapiest fucking shit. Like there's like some shit where it's like, hold her arm so she knows how big and strong you are.
Or like the real incel thing where it's like 99% of women have secret rape fantasies. It's like
that's
like,
just
it's real fucked up. I think Fuentes probably said that before.
I don't doubt it. Nick Fuentes, by the way, I was talking about Nick Fuentes a bit ago, and somebody was talking about, it was a video I saw about irony from Xander Hall, who's a moderate-sized YouTuber who's like Vosh, but for white people. And
Okay.
Sorry, it's a great statement. And he was talking about irony, specifically in regards to the Sam Hyde iDubbbz video. And he was saying like Nick Fuentes is like an example of like meta irony, because he tried to claim like, oh, Nick Fuentes, he says something but he means the other thing, where he's like he brought up like the cookie question, which is like a Holocaust denial thing.
Yeah, it's like the irony bro sort of mindset, right? Where it's like he only speaks in irony, and his context means something. There's context behind the irony, but it's like irony. It's like easier to like captivate, and you could kind of like hide back from it. Which
he tried to compare that to Sam Hyde, which I don't think is correct for a variety of reasons. But the main reason is because like when Nick Fuentes talks about something and he's like, saying like, oh, those lab coats don't want us talking about the cookie question, but we all enjoy cookies here, right, boys? Yeah, right. Like, it's just like there's like one layer of irony there, and it's just that he's replacing words, and it's like a wink wink sort of thing, where he's just like, wink wink, we're not talking about Jews, we're talking about cookies, and it's just like really dumb shit like that.
I mean,
and they try to compare it to like Sam Hyde, who's just like this fucking enigma of a character where you don't actually know what he's talking.
I could read Sam Hyde like a fucking book.
You think?
Yes, he had a comic where he thought he's like the fat guy, and who got like, I don't know, his crush probably went out with like a skinny like theater kid in like the late 2000s. He was one of those guys in the mid 2000s who really wanted to be big in comedy, and then everyone in the early 2010s who was into the hipster comedy scene like really bothered him. So now he's on this like eternal crusade, and he's trying so hard to be like this blue-collared guru of masculinity, but he spends all day talking about like fucking iDubbbz and like YouTube
I don't think
drama.
He is.
He's a fucking hack. I'm sorry. I like, here's the thing. Like
I have a take. I have a take I want to get through first.
All right.
About him. This is my take. My take on it is that when you look deeper into some of his work and some of the things he's done and just some of the wacky shit he's pulled, what I've kind of drawn from that is that the whole thing is an act. It's like a wrestler persona. He's not really like that. He's basically playing a character when he does this wacky, crazy shit, because he's never actually serious.
No, he's doing sort of the same thing Nick Fuentes does. And look, there's nothing wrong with irony. So. I use irony all the time. Everyone uses irony. But I mean, when I will say Sam Hyde's irony is like less insufferable than Nick's, because like Nick's is like always on, to the point where it's like, I don't know how this man could have like a relationship without going. But Sam Hyde uses his irony like a little better, but it's like, it's still like you can tell he still has like real beliefs, and his beliefs are like riding bikes is feminine, or like, like Sam Hyde thinks everything is feminine. Like you could.
Okay, but let me kind of elaborate more. Nick Fuentes, his stuff is like, it's very base level irony. It's like insufferable irony. It's just like replacing words, implying things. That's it. That's as far as it goes. Sam Hyde's irony, I think, is a lot more involved, because he's playing like this character where he'll like. And he like purposefully like obfuscates everything. Like he'll say one thing that's like a horrible like right wing fucking thing, and then in the next breath he'll be like he'll say something really progressive, and in the next breath he'll say like, I didn't even vote in the election. And the whole thing with him is I think his character is that he tries to be like as extreme as possible without actually holding any views. And a lot of right-wingers see some of the signs, a lot of the dog whistles he puts out, and they think like, oh, he's our guy. but they're not in on the joke because he often is just making fun of them by being ridiculous.
I think you're being a little too generous here. If you just read, I'm sorry, but it's just the way I see Sam is.
I mean, that's part of the act. You're supposed to see him like that.
I'm sorry. I have to disagree with you. I do see him as like as a pretty. No, I wouldn't go like far right. But I do see him as sort of like a rad guy. I mean, fucking.
I don't think so because I think the biggest canary in the coal mine for actually figuring out what he believes in was when I saw from the iDubbbz video who his crew is, the people that he associates with, and he like they're just all like 20-year-old like art school fucking libtards that he just picks up from art school, and like he paid like an actress like $500 to shave her hair for a bit.
I mean,
and like
he likes to dunk
he picked up
on
this
people.
actress somewhere.
He likes to dunk on people. It's like if you. I mean, he had like one real like sort of like video, and on the description he's like, "Yeah, we got these like this random black guy like $10, and he wouldn't shut up. We got this random Asian guy like right by a fucking restaurant. He couldn't speak English. Like, I don't think he's like really close with a lot of these people. I think it's just kind of.
Well, do you think that's true? Do you think he's telling the truth with that?
I think there's some sort of like.
Because I think everything ridiculous.
I don't.
I think everything ridiculous he talks about is fake.
I don't think it's like. I think the way he phrases stuff is definitely a persona, but I don't like really read it as like this like Andy Kaufman like elaborate like completely calculating act. I like there's some irony to it, but I just don't see it as that big.
Well, did you see the actual video that he put out like for the iDubbbz video?
I don't want to watch all that fucking YouTube drama. I don't.
Okay, well, it's not really that dramatic, but the entire thing is like an hour-long showcase, at least on the video from Sam's side, because they both released videos of each side of the interview. And on Sam's side, you can see him like pre-planning everything. Like he has a whole like a team dedicated to just like dunk on iDubbbz a little bit, just as like a funny prank where the joke is, I set everything up, it's all fake, haha, got him. Well, it's just for a reaction.
Well, yeah,
and like
the point is to make iDubbbz, the little chicken shit libtard, look stupid.
Well, no.
I could kind of read that. It's like, I mean, there's like videos where like Sam Hyde is like, manhood is dead, and he spends like, it's just clips of him talking how like manhood is dead, and I'm like, some of these seem like his genuine opinions,
That's the point. That's the point of the character in the joke is that he is blending reality and fiction to the point where you can't tell the difference. Where he'll in one breath say that Joe Rogan and like Gary Vee and all these other like manosphere guys are like complete shitheads and they should die. And he even like is trying to currently like set up a fight with Joe Rogan. In the other sense, he'll like just start spouting their like exact ideology just to be inconsistent. And like the joke is that he, especially in those like mentor videos, the joke isn't that he's like, this manosphere fucking weirdo. It's that he's treating his audience like fucking babies and trying to give them advice that's completely inconsistent and doesn't matter. And I think that's pretty great once you like kind of understand the joke a bit. Like he's just trolling people. He's just a troll.
We're going to wrap up the Sam Hyde talk. I think you're being too generous. Only time will tell if I've been rused by the great 2.0 Andy Kaufman.
I think of him more as being closer more to like Eric Andre or something.
Well, time will tell.
But yeah, time will tell. That's the bit has gone on long enough.
All right.
I just felt the need to talk about that.
Yeah. Well, you're going into the penalty box for 10 minutes for disagreeing with me on a topic.
Oh damn!
Yeah.
Time to boof some dirt, so I'll die and speed past that 10 minutes.
All right. We got to
There,
get some.
got 'em.
We got to get some mouthwash for that bit. Next topic.
Next topic. Well, if you say that, then there's not going to be a next topic because we're just like, oh, what are we talking about?
All right, well, let's talk. Since you're Joe Burrow's best friend,
Oh, don't say that. Come on.
you and Joe Burrow like held hands every day, skipping to school.
No.
Yeah, I mean, fuck. Dude. I mean, just you think Joe Burrow's having like lots of sex on like piles of money right now, or
I don't know, man, but I'll tell you one thing. It's fucking surreal being an absolute loser like myself and seeing somebody you went to high school. Well, okay, come on.
Nah,
Come on. But like it's surreal seeing like being a fucking like loser who's still living in his hometown at the age of like 20, 21 and seeing this guy you went to high school with be this like fucking like stratosphere goddamn like celebrity and just seeing news about him all the time. Like it's weird, man.
Is he the quarterback?
Like, yeah.
Huh. I mean, I didn't even watch the game.
Like there's like tabloid news on the come up to the Super Bowl where they were like, reveal Joe Burrow's sex life. He's a good player on and off the field. And it's like, holy shit, who cares? But also like, this is the most goddamn weird thing I've ever seen in my life. Because like people from my high school were like all pretty unremarkable. Except for like maybe two of them. One of them went to like Yale, and another one is Joe Burrow.
Yeah, Yale is known for remarkable people, totally not fucking clogs in the American system of corruption and bureaucracy. Yes, you were totally right.
Well, there was actually a couple that went to Yale, but there's one in particular that I really don't personally enjoy because they were. Actually, I don't even know what they identify by, but they were basically just like trying to involve themselves in everything and just came off as like a fucking clout chasing cunt throughout all of high school. And they got like a fucking like magazine spot after they graduated from a local magazine. Like they put his face on a magazine or put their face on a magazine and was like, this guy is the shining star of Athens, Ohio. And it's like, holy fuck. Like he just graduated high school. He did a few extracurriculars. Who gives a fuck?
He's a certified good boy or girl.
Yeah. Certified good person. Because they went to Yale. And when they went to Yale, they graduated from Yale.
I and there's have like political beliefs that are official now.
And like the guy himself, let's
just go with the guy. Let's just go with
the guy himself has like just the most kind of like surface level vapid sort of like fucking opinions. I think just I don't know. They'll never see this, but I just personally think like that guy is like an example, like a canary in the coal mine of some of the people around Athens County, because I'm from Athens County, Ohio. Yeah, OHIO, baby. Ho, ho. And like they just fucking like this is a college town, so a lot of people that are like connected to the college like go pretty far. There is another guy that I know who works for like fucking Miramax now, just because his like dad had connections with like a professor or like with a studio. Weinstein. Yes, something like that. And now he works for like Miramax or like some other fucking company like that out in Hollywood. And I see this guy's like Snapchat stories and he's always like filming something. I'm just like, I'm going to snap your fucking. It's like I want to do that. Like I wished I could do that. And he was able to do that because he, one, got bankrolled by his father. And for two, just had connections to that whole scene.
Yeah, trust fund kids suck.
Yeah. trust fund kids and professors' kids often end up getting launched into places that they would never have gone to if they were just a normal Joe. Just because of their parents, pretty much. And I think that's just like the most that is some of the most unfair shit, because like I'm going to continue talking about Athens. Athens County here is one of the most it's like the poorest county in the state.
Well,
like it is the poorest county in the state, and the city, the seat of the county, Athens City, is a college town, and there's so many like rich people who live there. So like as soon as you like leave like the nice suburbs, it's like fucking going from like Rio de Janeiro to the slums. You know, like it's any direction outwards from Athens into other counties and other surrounding areas is like going from like just regular, wholesome, liberal college town America to like 1910s miners' shacks and like pollution and like stripped out cars in the yard and like meth and heroin and just poor people being forced to like do bad shit just to survive. And it's terrible.
You ever seen the Oblongs?
Yeah, it's kind of like the Oblongs.
Yeah, so I was picturing that in my head.
It's kind of like the Oblongs, almost down to a T. It's even kind of polluted here, so it makes sense. And actually, my professor had my teacher I used to have in my high school actually was part of a committee that was supposed to like help local students like kind of get better and like school stuff. And he found out from like pinpointing the locations of like students of where they live and how their grades correlate, the poor students are doing way worse, and the rich students are always doing really good. And he kind of like noted like this is kind of like this county, Athens County, Ohio, is like a microcosm for just some of the worst inequality in America. And it's like if you took all the inequality in America and just kind of like condensed it into a county, that is here. Like we live in like such a horribly class stratified place that there's just such a steep divide. It's not even funny. Because like,
sorry,
you've got people who are making like maybe $9,000 a year doing like a minimum wage work, or they're on disability or something, living in the outskirts. And then in the middle of the town, you've got professors, coaches, administrators of the college who are making like $1 million a year.
I remember you like sending me like some photos of like the neighborhoods by you, and you were like, yeah, this place looks worse than like some shithole in like Eastern Europe.
Yeah. I lived in a trailer park at one point a while back. And that place, when I first moved into there, it was like cold and snowy, and the whole place just looked like fucking Pripyat. Like it looked like Ukraine after the Chernobyl incident. Just fucking horrifying, abandoned looking, empty, sad.
Well, now you're making me feel bad, because I live in a pretty good home with a mom who makes me dino nuggies. So now I feel bad. Nah, don't feel bad. It's not like I'm living in fucking Brazil. Like it's not that bad, but there's a lot of problems here, and I just feel the need to talk about that because it's kind of relevant. And just like the Oblongs, we are living down by a chemical spill. Didn't you tell me that like your Democrat politicians and you're teamed up with the Republican ones just to like tear a new asshole into the progressive pick?
Yeah. We had in our local elections, we had a socialist candidate who started off. His name was like Damon Crane or whatever, and he was a socialist who was running on a platform of like rental reform and like reforms like that, like basically like curbing the like slumlords in this county. And the Democratic Party and the Republican Party met in secret so they could figure out how to fuck him over.
Just some like eyes wide shut fucking like summoning.
Yeah, like the Republican Party basically made like a commitment to smear him, and the Democratic Party made a commitment that the Republicans would give the Democrats all their votes just so they could stop the socialist.
I mean, this is nothing new. I mean, in the 60s, there was some sort of like a really, really progressive pick. And I think like Kennedy, like messaged like Nixon, like, yeah, we'll give you your support to stop this chick.
Yeah.
I don't know the specific name of the woman because I'm stupid, but yeah.
I don't know either, but like that is just such a like microcosm of America type thing to happen, where you have like every capitalist party in the county basically combined to fight the socialist party that's just up and coming.
That's what Mike Bloomberg did. He only ran in the race just to fucking knock Bernie down.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean,
it's just wacky to see. Speaking of Mike Bloomberg, there's like a local like really rich family that I won't mention names because they might assassinate me. But
well, don't say anything. I don't want them to kill me.
Okay, I won't say anything. But I'll just say that Mike Bloomberg was involved, and after Mike Bloomberg's influence left the city here, the Mike Bloomberg headquarters became the Trump headquarters. And I just found that to be so fucking funny.
Well, it's a big party, and you're not in it, Ivan. You are not in the party.
It's a big club, and I'm not in it.
Let's wrap this up with something more relaxing, something a little less sinister.
Okay.
Actually way more sinister. Super Bowl commercials.
Oh my fucking God, I hated those. Dude, like they're so fucking cringe this year. The Austin Powers one was like watching a bunch of skeletons dance on strings, and they like sped it up, and it just looked like fucking trash.
You're not going to see Austin Powers 4? It's gonna happen because of that commercial. People love that.
Maybe if there's a real Austin Powers 4 movie, I'd be cool with that. But like the way they did the commercial was like they didn't have much time. So they just like sped it up really fast, and they were just doing all the plot points real quick, just snap, 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 and it's just the worst fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. But some of those other commercials were just like fucking weird.
Yeah, it's like, you know, in the 70s, like when an actor like was a whore on commercials, like selling products, that was considered kind of like trashy. Like serious actors didn't do that. Now, like the rules have totally changed, and now, you know, no one like you know, we all give a big okay for like someone to whore us out to crypto.
Yeah.
Like, thank you. Guy owns millions of dollars. Thank you.
So many like Bitcoin and NFT commercials. I think I hated that the most.
Wait, what was there? Was there an NFT commercial?
Yeah, it was like an NFT trading platform. I hated how many of those were just like crypto based. Like, who is buying crypto this much? Like, it's a scam. The whole thing is a scam.
I mean,
crypto and NFTs are a total scam.
Can you talk to anyone over 40 about like crypto and like not see their heads fucking explode?
Probably not. I mean, cryptocurrency is just like a weird libertarian fucking fantasy that has spawned since 2011. If you talk to a boomer about that, they'll be like, "What's crypto? Is that something you use to freeze a popsicle?"
Well, as long as my wife's not in it, I'm down.
You want my money, my bank account, and my social security number for this crypto trading site? Okay, have it all. I'll be rich in no time. Speaking of that type of shit, I hate how fucking frequent scammers have become. here lately, because like I was on Facebook one day and I made like a post that was kind of like disparaging or whatever. Someone was like, hey, you need some help? And I was like, sure, I guess if you want to help. And they were like, okay, well, first my company has provided me some funds so I can disperse to you through Cash App. First you have to send me $50 in Cash App so I can turn that into like $300. And it's like, oh my God, fuck off. Like, it's just like, are you kidding me? And I thought she was hacked. I was like, you're hacked. Totally. You're fucking hacked. Like, your account has been compromised. You're hacked. Fuck you, hacker. And no, she like this lady responded with a video of her talking, like her trying to pitch me this. And she even like sent me a photo of her license, which I don't know why she had to do that. But like, this is just like a random fucking lady who's like a nurse. And she's like trying to like get me on this like scam, this like what's it called? Like a money seeding scam where you like pay some money, then you get more money, which makes no sense at all.
Damn, I mean, when you tell me she's a nurse, it only kind of makes me like feel more pity because it's like, damn, imagine having to resort to that while having like a job. That's actually like kind of sad. Right? It's like,
it's sad. It's like a real statement on, how desperate people are getting around here, where it's just like you've got like nurses in like nursing homes running like cash app scams. It's just bad.
I mean, fuck. I mean, this is you're in a competition. Okay, that's what you're here for. You're in a competition. You're here to compete like a fucking rat.
Well, how do you mean?
Well, let's just say, I mean, the hustle mindset. Everyone here is just following that cheese, baby. It's
gotta get on the Sigma grind set. Gotta fucking sell my kidney and kill 2 kids so I can start an organ farming market. All about seed capital. You gotta kill a few kids to get your seed capital, and then you can sell their organs and start up a taco stand.
It's like an organic black market with only like organic
body
parts, like a very fresh, not any of that mass produced stuff. I'm talking like real eyeballs from the elderly.
Oh yes, real belbows and splurns,
naturally grown. No vaccines, nothing injected.
Oh yeah, all natural. They're a pure blood. There's a farmer's market that comes around here sometimes in front of the iHope, and I was wondering, like, what if you just sold organs in front of the iHope?
I mean, fuck it. People could get away with. Assuming if the people selling organs are some business people with like degrees, I'm sure they could get away with it.
Yeah, I mean, definitely not going to be a Walmart worker when you're going to sell organs. You're going to need to be a business school student, which, by the way, a lot of business school students end up at Walmart.
Oh, dude, DECA kids are fucking assholes. It's like, look at me, I'm a DECA kid. I'm a professional business kid, and I'm like, shut up. You're 16. Go shut up.
You're a 16-year-old wearing a suit who thinks he's a millionaire. Like, just shut the fuck up.
Gotta get that hustle grind set early, baby.
Gotta get that hustle. Also, throughout this conversation, I can't believe you didn't catch me on saying IHOP and Walmart wrong.
Well, you said, you said Walmart sound fine. You said iHoop. I thought that was like a sort of a joke.
I said iHope.
IHOP's okay. They got pretty good for quick food. 24 hours.
Oh yes, you can go down there, lose $10 and a spleen to get some fucking pancakes.
I mean, are their pancakes pretty expensive? I don't go to IHOP that much.
It's not really expensive. It's just that the workplace is like it. I don't know. There's a lot of like country time boomers that work there who, from what I've heard, just don't wear a mask at all. And it's just like, wow, pancakes and pathogens. My favorite.
I went to IHOP recently with a friend, and I ordered pancakes because I'm like smart, and he ordered a burger at IHOP because he's like stupid, and he asked the waitress who had this sort of Eastern European accent. He asked her like, I only want bacon on the burger, no ketchup, no lettuce, no tomatoes. And she just fucking laughed at him. She's like, oh, like a little child. And he when we're driving back home, he's like, that fucking bitch. He's like, he now hates IHOP. He boycotts IHOP because of that fucking waitress. The waitress femdomed him over a fucking IHOP order.
Oh man, is he Denny's gang now?
Damn.
Does he go to Denny's?
Yeah, he's Denny's gang.
Yeah, Denny's gang. You got the IHOP Warriors versus the Denny's gang.
No, the IHOP Cowboys versus the Denny's gang. Come on, Denny's is like suicide tier, man. It's like, what are you doing at Denny's?
I mean, hey, it's for highway side non-roadkill food. It's not too bad. I will say Waffle House is better, even though that place is like a chaotic fucking war zone full of drunk people. But like IHOP is fine. I've like one time. Okay, this is a funny story. I drove with my friend, with my friend and his dad, all the way to like fucking Columbus, which is like 50 miles away, just to go to IHOP before they put one here in my town. And we went to IHOP, we ate breakfast, we were like, oh yeah, this is cool, yeah, it's IHOP. Then we went back 50 miles again for like an hour and a half. Like if we were like living in Europe, this would be like going from Berlin to fucking like Warsaw for pancakes.
Imagine your ancestors looking down at you who had half of their family members like starve searching for land just to see you fucking drive the fucking IHOP.
Drive like 50 miles away to IHOP just so I can eat a pancake and then leave.
I mean, Village Inn is pretty good, but
and on the way back we got lost.
Lost from IHOP.
We got lost. Yeah, we took a country road and we were just completely fucking stranded somewhere. We ended up like turning like too far north, and we were just like scrambling to find like a major highway so we could get our way back home. And we were just like lost out there driving on this random ass country road in the middle of butt fuck nowhere. No phone service, no nothing, just barns and grass and horses and trailers, just nothing in this like big mountain valley. And it looked nice. It was kind of scenic, but we were just like, where the fuck are we going? Like,
if I'm not like 5 miles within a Walgreens, I start to like freak out. I get like anxiety.
Yeah, if you get disconnected from the matrix, you start to feel worried.
Yeah, it's I'm an indoor boy, stay indoor, indoor gang.
Indoor gang. Yeah, I mean, me too. I'm kind of a shut-in myself, but it's kind of why I'm not a football star. But I kind of feel the same way because like I was going towards this like town up north, trying to like look at a house here recently. And my phone service went out, and I was just like, "Oh fuck, I can't see Facebook. Oh fuck." I was like, starting to get worried when I went through a certain part, and then I felt like actual relief when I got my service back, and I was just like, "Oh, thank God." It's just like, wow, I have been conditioned.
Wow.
That is not good.
I mean, phones are essential. It's I can't live without watching my fucking 3 Simpsons episodes a day on my phone like a fucking loser.
3 a day. 3 Simpsons episode a day.
It's not even in order. I just pick like random ones. Like I'll be watching season 2, then season like 18.
God.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you this much. There's a show that I really think you should start watching because it's just fucking funny.
All right.
Have you seen Trailer Park Boys?
Motherfucker.
What?
The way you said it, you act like that's like a rare show no one has heard of.
It's not rare, but it's just like a show that's not that common.
I've actually watched the first 6 seasons of the show, and there were many points of it where I loved it. But I think at the time I was sort of like, okay, it's getting a little repetitive.
Yeah.
And I kind of lost interest.
Those are some of the best seasons of the show. It's like season 2 through 6. I saw this like making of video about like Trailer Park Boys. That entire trailer park they built by hand. Like they made it. Yeah, they bought land, they rented land. Or actually no, they did buy the land. They bought the land. They got a bunch of scrap trailers and like free trailers that are being given out by landlords, and they were all mostly in like working fucking condition. Some of them were like trade-ins where they'd like trade in something for a trailer, like buy it. But oftentimes when they get one trailer, they get like 5 more, and they just like pad out this whole place with these like empty trailers. Because in the first season when they were filming, they kept getting yelled at by the locals to stop filming because they'd like fire off a gun or like yell or something, and the people would like walk outside and be like, "Can you shut the fuck up?"
You could probably see some of the locals in the background, definitely in the early seasons.
Yeah, in season 1, definitely you can see that a lot, and you can actually kind of feel the difference between season 1 and 2 because in season 1. The park feels a bit more lived in and more kind of real, but like they did a lot to make the park feel like a real place. They took trees and planted trees in the park just so it like had that sort of permanence feel to it, that it's an actual real place. And it's strange to think about that they went to that length just to avoid renting out a trailer park. Like a real one.
I mean, you don't want to be the guy who like kicks, people living in trailer parks out,
Well, they didn't kick them out. They'd have to pay the park for like film rights.
They would rather just build their own trailer park.
Yeah, it's crazy though. That was crazy shit.
It's a good show, but I found the mockumentary style. It's like there's too much mockumentary style sort of shows nowadays. I just can't get into it.
I mean, yeah, but I think Trailer Park Boys kind of like perfected the style of like a low budget mockumentary. And it's actually kind of inspiring to me as like a film guy when I saw the making of video, because the first like 2 movies that they made of Trailer Park Boys, because they made 2 black and white movies in like this mockumentary style, like the whole thing was like really super low budget. Like I have better equipment than they do at present time in a lot of cases. And it's just like, it's inspiring to see that shit because like these are people that kind of got together with nothing and made a movie. And I think that other filmmakers that can do that, like I guess a good example is like Kevin James. When he made Clerks,
Kevin
when
Smith?
he made Kevin
I was
Smith,
like Paul
Kevin
Blart.
James. Sorry, they're both fat. I confuse them. When Kevin Smith made Clerks, it was kind of inspiring when you learn about the backstory, because he made the whole movie on a budget of like $20,000 in like the 90s, which is like maybe $40,000 now.
Well, the store
after
the store in the movie, he worked at that store.
Yeah, like that was his real workplace. The actors were all his like buddies that he knew and people that he hired for like just a few minutes. And that store was a place he really did work at in New Jersey. And he maxed out a bunch of credit cards just so he can get the budget for the film. And when he made that film, it got like a huge return. Like he made like over $1 million in box office sales and even more in royalties, which is insane to think about, that this guy's first movie was a fucking smash hit with like no budget.
Well, I think that the charm of Clerks was like before Clerks, whenever like a character like talked anything like kind of nerdy, like Star Wars, it was always sort of said by like an Urkel like character, like exaggerated. When they just show like two pretty normal guys talking like Star Wars, it's spoke to a lot of people.
It kind of normalized a lot of the nerdy shit.
I mean, I wouldn't say normalize. I would more so say like it just sort of like was a decent reflection from like more realistic people.
Yeah. And it's another weird thing. I don't know why a lot of these like early movies from like the 90s that were made by these like up and coming filmmakers, like why were so many of them shot in black and white?
Because it was cheaper at that time. This was before digital, I mean, there was digital, but it wasn't like...
Yeah, they use like DV cameras, which are like digital tape, which is a funny thing to think about. Like they'd have like a cassette they'd plug into their computer to edit.
Well, I mean, I assume like also black and white when you're also like an indie filmmaker, it does save you a lot of time and money because like you don't have to worry too much about the lighting. At least not to a high regard. And
I think that's half the reason they do that.
Yeah.
Because when it's black and white, all you have to worry about is like brightness. You don't have to worry about like tone or color or anything like that. But I don't know. I just find it to be kind of lazy and kind of not the best way to go about things. I mean, it's striking to have a black and white film, but I don't know. I don't get it. It just seems very 90s, like 90s indie film. They're all black and white.
It's cool, man. I'm sorry you're not as cool as a 1994 filmmaker.
Yeah, do you think Kevin Smith and Mike Clattenburg were just like wearing berets and smoking cigars in like an opera club, just like speaking French to each other?
Blowing each other off? Yeah, definitely.
Blowing each other off.
Weed, bro.
Weed. Fucking
weed.
God,
I love that like the first adult animated movie in like decades was a movie about like a talking hot dog having sex. It's like bravo.
It's just a talking hot dog voiced by the weed guy from Pineapple Express.
Wasn't Seth Rogen in the Super Bowl commercials or something?
I think I don't remember that. I think my my like PTSD addled brain has just like repressed half of the Super Bowl commercials.
Oh yeah,
that's trauma.
That sexual anarchy pretty much fucked you up.
What? Who fucking said the sexual anarchy line? That's so fucking stupid.
Charlie Kirk.
I fucking Mr. No Face needs to shut the fuck up. Like sexual anarchy. It wasn't even sexual in like the halftime show. Like it wasn't even really sexual. It was like a bunch of just random fucking people. Like 3 of the 4 performers were men.
Oh, you're saying like, men can't be sexy? What was this, homophobia, bro?
When I think of Charlie Kirk saying sexual anarchy, I think it's just because he saw a black woman on the stage and was like, it's a woman, not white. And he just like comes and dies on the spot.
Charlie Kirk at a Doodle Bob's concert calls it sexual anarchy. He's at the Chuck E. Cheese calling the animatronics thinks are too sexy.
Oh my god.
I hated those animatronics when I went to Chuck E. Cheese as a kid.
Don't bring up animatronics, or else you're gonna have like Five Nights at Freddy's fans flooding your comments like, I fucking hate. I hate that game so much.
You have a low opinion of my fan base, bro. They are a little more mature than you think.
Hey, I'm just saying you have you have a wide enough appeal that you could probably have some Five Nights at Freddy's fans in the comments.
Yeah, I could probably mention like the show Jag, and there'll be like some like old boomers over 70 being like, "Hey, yeah, Jag,
yeah, I love Jag. I also love Wings and MASH."
Or what's like the worst boomer show? Magnum PI, where every boomer thinks like they're the Magnum PI of the fucking country buffet.
Really, just anything with Tom Selleck.
It's like, God, only boomers watch Blue Bloods, man. It's like, God.
I don't even know what that is.
It's a bunch of network TV.
It really just like boomers watch network television. That's the point. The end.
All right, we're gonna wrap this up. Wait, before we wrap up, I gotta actually read down the people, all fucking 9 whatever people who are in my YouTube membership. So let me just read these people out.
All right, I'll make fun of their names.
All right, Enlighten Blue.
Good name.
Dr. Cider.
Good name.
Spyman 3000.
Okay, that's like an Xbox fucking gamer tag. Come on.
Come on, don't diss Spyman. Spyman's cool.
Okay.
I don't actually know if he's cool, but he gives me like some money for YouTube, so he's cool.
Okay.
Zach McKay.
That's just a guy. That's just a dude. Hi, dude. Hi, Zach.
It's a Zach with a K.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fat Kid Productions.
That sounds familiar for some reason. You ever watch I know this is like probably not the guy, but like you ever watch the videos of like the kid named Max or whatever dressed as Batman, and he like beats up his mom and he's like, justice.
What the fuck kind of porn do you watch, Ivan?
Oh, fuck off.
And next name, Dennis Bowen.
Okay, just another guy.
Yeah, it's Dennis with a D. All
right.
Techno Drip.
I kind of like that name. That's a good name.
All right, here's an edgy one. The Pissed Off Al.
No. I mean, it could be worse.
All right. MD Lufty 1234.
I don't even. That's like a Club Penguin gamer tag or username.
Come on, man! Don't be dissing.
I'm not dissing. I'm just making observations. It's not like they can join my YouTube fucking membership. I got a Patreon that has nobody on it.
Oh, okay. Well, now you keep making me feel bad.
Stop feeling bad. Stop feeling bad.
Okay.
Continue.
Okay. You know, I wish I was friends with Joe. I forgot his name already. Okay, guess. I want you to guess which ethnic group this guy belongs to.
Okay.
Little Lasagna.
This is a low-hanging fruit.
Fuck off.
Italian. Nope. Sicilian.
We don't talk about Sicilians here. Next one is Scoops.
That sounds like a fucking drug dealer name.
It's
Yo, man, I bought my weed from Scoops.
He has a Z at the end, and he has a 0 as one of the O's.
Oh, I love that. That's a good name. I like that.
Scoops. And last, and certainly, I don't know, maybe or maybe not least, The Symptom.
It's a cool name.
Yeah,
I like it.
You know, it's like a glam metal band name.
Yeah, kind of like a glam metal like hair band. The Symptom.
We're gonna. They have like 80 songs, like really inappropriate 80 songs, like we're gonna roofie your girl. Roofie now in your.
You like listen to a classic rock station. It's like now playing The Symptom. I fucked your wife. I fucked your wife with my penis. She wasn't consenting because I'm a rock star.
Man, music today is just so vulgar. Let's put on the classic rock radio. Roofies now, girls now. Your mom is a crack whore.
I snorted coke through my butt and I fucked a girl in her throat. Yeah.
Their songs get played at the Hard Rock Cafe.
You're just like eating a fucking leathery ass burger at the Hard Rock Cafe in like Nashville. And I'm saying this out of experience because I've been there. And you see like, huh?
I was gonna. I was. You go first.
You're just like sitting there, like listening to, like looking at the scenery. You see like the shovel that like a beetle used or something, and you just hear like, flick my tits with a mouse trap. I fucked my mom and she come.
It really is the perfect symbol of like boomers selling out but still wanting their like rock and roll identity.
Yeah. Like, whoever thought it was like a good idea where it's just like, hey, I know a good idea for a burger chain. Let's make it themed after classic rock.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
the Woodstock wood fire pizza, or I don't know.
The Woodstock wood-fired oven pizza, fresh with oregano, so it looks like weed. Remember weed?
But we want to keep it illegal.
The fucking time to eat the Beatles burger. It's a burger made out of actual beetles with a leathery shit bun with Swiss on it. I keep insulting the bun quality of Hard Rock Cafe. Hard Rock Cafe, if you're seeing this, don't sue me or SynthCool.
Yeah, you really have like it's like really specific about the buns. It's like
Dude, they're like fucking, they're weird. They're like plastic.
I mean, okay, we got to think of one more band burger pun. So I'm gonna hang up. We're not gonna end this pod until we come up with one.
A new single by The Symptom, My Burger Ball. I was eating a burger at McDonald's. I dropped my burger on my ball.
Yeah, but like of a real band, not The Symptom.
Oh, okay. A real band.
Like the something that describes like boomers selling out, like really bad.
Leonard Skinnerd Confederate Burger.
That's a little too on the nose.
Okay. Led Zeppelin's Lead Burger, only at McDonald's. It's a burger, but the burger itself is really hard because they burned it.
You know what? I'm going to fucking accept that. Okay, congratulations, McDonald's. Here. Take Ivan's idea. Trust me.
Yeah.
And whenever you do a job application, I'll just write best friends with Joe Burrow.
Not gonna fucking do that, man.
Just a little. Just tell him to invest into your new Hard Rock Cafe idea.
Dude, I'm not gonna fucking like pester a celebrity that I went to high school with. Do you know how pathetic that makes me sound?
Nah, it'd be chat as fuck, dude.
Just like, hey there, celebrity who's obviously probably a millionaire by now. Hey, can you invest in my shit project? And just no. But another weird thing, there was a guy from my high school class, like my class, who made the jacket that he wore. Like he's like a fashion designer, and he made like a jacket for him. And that was like the one that he wore that he's in like a bunch of photos in.
Oh, is he like a pretty big name now?
I guess so. I mean, his brother played on the team, which is how Joe knew him. But like, it was weird to see that because like, this is just some guy that's been like just kind of existing that we knew from high school, my exact age and everything, exact class, everything. And he just like made this like jacket that got really big and famous from Joe. And a bunch of like celebrities just started like fucking dumping into his DMs like, hey bro, can you make me one? Can I have one? Can I have one? Can I have one? And he probably made that thing in his closet.
No, you know what that kid did? That kid was, he was dirt poor, but then he begged with dignity to his best friend.
He's
Joe
not dirt
Burrow.
poor. He wasn't dirt poor, but
then there's the answer. You trust fund kid.
He's not a trust fund kid. He's just a normal guy.
Guy?
He's just a normal guy. But his brand got fucking launched because of old Joey.
Look, man, just go visit the Godfather Joe. That's all you got to
The
do.
Godfather. Yeah. I don't know about that. I don't know if I'd be able to kiss his Heisman ring.
Okay. Okay. Before we end this, let's set one more burger band pun. It's
Burger band pun. All right. The Nirvana shotgun burger.
Okay, we're fucking done.
It's just like manwich on a bun.
It's like it's just completely filled with ketchup in the middle, like just total. And it's like, you know, the brains splattered.
Oh no! It's just like a burger that's been cored with like a fucking tomato in it or something, like a half tomato that's been like pulped, and when you bite it, it just like spills out.
It's just like really like chunky burger meats inside, like like just like kind of like ripped apart like shredded burger meat.
Oh, and you can get like a drink on the side of it called like the Courtney Love shake. That's just like a milkshake filled with vodka, and it tastes like shit.
Okay, we're done here. All right, you got anything you want to plug?
I already plugged when you were in the bathroom, but I'll do it again. Hey everyone, go if you want to see more wacky federal felonies.
What?
Go.
No. You are a law-abiding citizen.
If you want to go see more crimes, go visit SyberianDenizen on Facebook. Why did I say Facebook? What the fuck?
Crimes
is
in
wrong with me?
Minecraft.
Yeah, federal crimes in Roblox. Go visit my channel. It's SyberianDenizen on YouTube. I also have a Twitter. It's just at SyberianDenizen. If you want to watch me rant at random people and say off the cuff things, yeah, that's the plug. I've plugged.
And yeah, thank you for coming on. We'll have you again. You're always a delight to talk to.
Yeah, I look forward to being on again.
All right, boys. Well, if you're a girl in the audience, I apologize. All right, dudes
boys
and
and
dudettes. Get out, you fucking femoids.
To all those masculine gods and femoids, it's been real.
We got to have some sort of like closing catchphrase.
All right, closing catchphrase.
Hard Rock Cafe.
No. Fuck that. No. It's gotta be something more iconic. You know, gotta be
Well, no. It's, it needs to be like a throwback from what we said earlier in this podcast. You know, like.
All right. Here's my closer. All right. From the wise words of Sneakers O'Toole, I have a constitutional right to scream the N-word. That was like one of your best videos. That was such a good fucking punchline.
I'm going to forget. I'm going to cut that part out. And new closing part.
Okay, new closer.
Sneak.
This has been many. Oh god, what's the line you say where it's like there are many different whatever in anime?
There are many complex characters in anime.
Yeah. This has been one of many complex characters in anime on the SynthCast.
I agree.
All right, that's our closer. Yeah, you can just say that.
Hard Rock Cafe. There's the closer. I'm ending the stream. Eat shit.
God, fuck you, man.
Touch.